2018 was a fun year for cinema, and these are some of the movies I had a good time watching in theaters. I did not expect Predator to be good, and it was great. Steven really wanted to go see Upgrade, and this movie was much more darker than I anticipated. Overlord was gory fun, and it was Wolfenstein meets zombies, so that was pretty sweet. And Aquaman was a comic-accurate origin movie. Go check out my video on this. Watching Two Heroes in theaters was an experience because I got to see just how many people love this fucking anime. It felt like I was watching an hour-long version of an episode, but that's fine, because it was a really good episode. I love this movie. And Young Might was really fucking cool. There aren't enough good things I can say about Infinity War. This was a phenomenon. This was 10 years in the making, and it delivered on so many different reasons. I love this film, but I think there were some better movies. Overall, though, this is one that you could watch again and again and again. And then John Krasinski and Emily Blunt really killed it in A Quiet Place. Again, another movie you have to experience in theaters. I loved it. There were also some great movies that I streamed online. Bird Box was intense and reminded me a lot of A Quiet Place. The Night Eats the World was an unconventional zombie movie I really enjoyed. Alicia Vikander killed it as the new Lara Croft. Leave No Trace is heartwarming and heartbreaking with some of the best performances of 2018. And then Netflix changed the game with Black Mirror Bandersnatch. It's highly inventive and highly engrossing. There were also some movies I watched this year that didn't come out this year. I just got introduced to them. And these are just honorable mentions because these movies rocked my world. Like Veronica, which reminded me not to fuck around with brujeria. Evan Rachel Wood and Ellen Page were just phenomenal in Into the Forest. The Invitation perfectly crafted suspense, and by the end of it I had an anxiety attack. Coherence reminded me a lot of Primer, with its weirdness and wackiness, and it has Xander from Buffy. The Endless took me for a fucking ride with its Lovecraftian themes, which then had me go watch Resolution, which was surprisingly funny and just as interesting. Which then reminded me a lot of The Ritual, which was a horrifyingly terrifying movie. And while I loved all of these movies, there were 5 films specifically that just took me to another place entirely. I did go over these in greater detail on the Mitch and Rich show that you can find on Geek Elite Radio, so if you're interested, please go check that bad boy out. But here are my top 5. You Were Never Really Here is a movie about trauma and its long-term effects. It's violent, it's unflinching, and it's uncompromising. This movie has so much going on, especially in the weary and tired eyes of Joaquin Phoenix, who did such a phenomenal job in this movie. What a powerful performance. Definitely not for the weak of heart. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a world of colorful and stylized animation, endearing characters, and a dope soundtrack. If you're weary of superhero flicks, I understand, but this one won't burn you out. It's hard to not have a smile on your face when watching Miles' story unfold. The best Spider-Man movie we've ever had. What can I say about Mandy besides that it's fucking nuts? There's a lot happening in Panos Cosmatos' surrealistic art house horror revenge story, and it's very self-indulgent at times, possibly pretentious, but make no mistake, this movie is an acid trip that's brutal, nasty, and all-consuming. Nicolas Cage is the hero we did not know we deserved. Fuck yeah. And then there's Hereditary, and I made a mistake because I watched it right before bed. No jump scares needed. It's methodical and patient, and it builds on sheer discomfort, and then it descends into absolute pandemonium. This movie is a work of art, and it absolutely scares the shit out of me. But my number one movie of 2018 has to be Isle of Dogs. And make no mistake, Wes Anderson can be one of those directors that is kind of like an acquired taste, but Isle of Dogs is delightful. This is a treasure of a film that has all the Wes Anderson quirkiness, with beautiful set pieces, brilliant stop-motion visuals, and the melancholy charm that's so much fun. It's an acquired taste for sure, but it's simply beautiful. I love this movie. You know, they say there's nothing quite like the relationship between a boy and his dog, and this movie showcases that. I love dogs.